A simple request. That changed everything. When 12-year-old Samuel asked his mother for a phone, he had no idea it would lead him down a path he couldn't turn back from. What started as innocent curiosity with his best friend Rosie soon turned into a secret they couldn't escape. A secret that would test their friendship, shake their families, and change their lives forever. But what exactly did they discover? And how did it all go so wrong? Watch till the end to uncover the shocking truth. In an African city, Mama Rosie and Mama Samuel lived as neighbors. Their houses were side by side, and their bond was as strong as that of a family. Despite their differences in parenting styles, they were inseparable friends. Mama Rosie, strict and disciplined, firmly believed in rules and order. In contrast, Mama Samuel was gentle and indulgent, rarely raising her voice. Both women were hard-working merchants who spent most of their days at the market, leaving little time for their children, Rosie and Samuel. Having grown up together like siblings, 12-year-old Rosie and Samuel were inseparable. They shared secrets, did their homework together, and played in the courtyard. Their laughter echoed through the dusty yard, a constant reminder of their joyful childhood. One evening during dinner, Samuel said to his mother, "Mama, I need a phone. All my friends have one. I feel left out." Mama Samuel paused, her spoon stopping midair. "A phone? Samuel? Don't you think you're too young for that?" "But Mama, it's not just for playing. I can use it for studying too," Samuel replied, his big eyes full of hope as he looked at his mother. Mama Samuel sighed, uncertain if her son was ready for such a responsibility. After a moment of thought, she set a condition. "If you can finish first in your class this term, I will buy it for you, but only if you prove that you deserve it." Samuel's eyes sparkled with determination. From that day on, he studied relentlessly, dedicating all his energy to his books. Even Rosie noticed the change. "You're really serious about this phone, huh?" she teased one evening as they did their math homework together. "I'll show Mama that I can do it," Samuel replied confidently. At the end of the term, Samuel achieved his goal. He ran home, proudly holding up his report card. "Mama, look, first place." Mama Samuel couldn't hide her joy. She hugged him tightly and promised to keep her word. True to her promise, she bought him a brand new iPhone, more advanced than Samuel had ever imagined. He was overjoyed. From that day on, the phone became Samuel's most prized possession. He used it to play games, watch cartoons, and explore the internet. Rosie often joined him, and the two spent hours laughing at funny videos and sharing games. One sunny afternoon, Samuel and Rosie were in his room, engrossed in the phone. "Let's see what else we can find," Samuel said, scrolling through the apps. Rosie nodded, her eyes wide with curiosity. This phone has so many things. Their innocent exploration marked the beginning of a journey neither of them could have foreseen, a journey that would test their friendship and their innocence. One quiet afternoon, while Mama Rosie and Mama Samuel were at the market, Samuel and Rosie sat in Samuel's room as usual. Samuel was scrolling through his phone, browsing through apps and videos, while Rosie watched over his shoulder. Suddenly, Samuel stopped. "What's this?" he asked as he clicked on a mysterious icon. The screen lit up, revealing a collection of videos. The thumbnails looked strange, different from the cartoons and games they usually enjoyed. Out of curiosity, Samuel selected one. The video showed something bizarre, adults behaving in a way that children didn't understand. Samuel and Rosie stared at the screen, their faces a mixture of confusion and curiosity. "What are they doing?" Rosie asked, her voice barely audible. Samuel hesitated, his brows furrowed. "I think it's something adults do. I've heard older boys at school talk about this kind of thing." Rosie's face turned red. "Should we even be watching this? It seems wrong." Samuel shrugged, unable to look away. "It's just a video. It's not like we're doing anything bad." But deep down, both children felt uncomfortable. When the video ended, instead of closing the app, Samuel clicked on another. As the minutes passed, their unease shifted into fascination. They didn't fully understand what they were watching, but the mystery drew them in. "Let's not tell anyone," Samuel finally said in a firm voice. "It's our secret." Rosie nodded. A part of her wanted to tell her mother, but she knew Mama Rosie wouldn't take it lightly. Her strict mother was quick to punish, and Rosie couldn't imagine the consequences if she found out. A dangerous secret. From that day on, Samuel and Rosie's afternoons changed. When their mothers were at the market, they locked themselves in Samuel's room to watch more forbidden videos. The innocent laughter that once filled the courtyard was replaced by whispered conversations and knowing glances. One day, as they sat in the room, Rosie turned to Samuel. "Do you think it's wrong to watch these videos?" she asked, her voice trembling. Samuel looked uneasy. "They're just videos, Rosie. It's not like we're doing anything wrong." "But what if Mama finds out?" Rosie asked, worried. Samuel's expression hardened. "She won't. We just have to keep it a secret." Rosie nodded, but her discomfort grew with each passing day. Then, on a fateful afternoon, Rosie said something that shocked Samuel. "What if we tried doing what they do in the videos?" Samuel froze. "What? Number? That's not a good idea, Rosie." "But why not?" Rosie insisted. "If it's something adults do, maybe we'll understand it better." Samuel shook his head, his heart pounding. "I don't think it's right. What if we get caught?" But Rosie wouldn't let go of the idea. Her curiosity was stronger than her fear, and she kept bringing it up until Samuel reluctantly agreed. The first time they tried, it didn't go as expected. Rosie felt a sharp pain and quickly told Samuel to stop. She ran out of the room, tears streaming down her face. For several days, she avoided Samuel, refusing to talk to him or even a friendship tested. Samuel felt awful. He wanted to apologize but didn't know how. After several days, he finally approached Rosie at school. "I'm sorry," he said softly. "I shouldn't have agreed." Rosie hesitated before nodding. "It's nothing. Let's forget about it." Little by little, their friendship returned to normal, but things were no longer quite the same. Then, on an ordinary day, Rosie shocked Samuel again. "I think we should try again," she said bluntly. Samuel stared at her in disbelief. "What? Rosie, no. Last time. This time will be different," Rosie interrupted. "Please, Samuel, don't disappoint me." Samuel's heart tightened. He didn't want to say yes, but the thought of disappointing Rosie was unbearable. Reluctantly, he agreed. A close call. One afternoon after school, Samuel and Rosie decided to stay behind in an empty classroom. The school was quiet. Most of the students and teachers had already left. "Are you sure about this?" Samuel murmured nervously, glancing around. Rosie nodded. "It'll be quick. No one will know." They slipped into the school bathroom, their hearts pounding with fear and anticipation. Just as they were about to begin, the sound of footsteps echoed down the hallway. "Someone's coming," Samuel whispered, grabbing Rosie's arm. Panicked, they ran in opposite directions. It was the school janitor making his usual rounds. Fortunately, he didn't see them, but the scare left them trembling. The moment of truth. That evening, while Mama Rosie and Mama Samuel were still at the market, Rosie turned to Samuel. "We have to try again, this time at home." Samuel hesitated, his fear evident. "I don't know, Rosie. What if someone catches us?" "There's no one here," Rosie insisted. "Our mothers won't be back for hours." After a moment of hesitation, Samuel reluctantly agreed. They went to Samuel's room and locked the door. Just as they were about to begin, the front door suddenly opened. "Samuel, are you here?" Mama Samuel's voice called out. Samuel and Rosie froze, their faces drained of color. Mama Samuel's footsteps grew closer. "Samuel, why is this door locked?" Panic-stricken, they scrambled to hide what they were doing. Mama Samuel's sharp eyes darted between Samuel and Rosie. Something about their behavior made her suspicious. "What's going on here?" she demanded firmly. Rosie lowered her eyes, unable to meet her gaze. Samuel stammered, searching for an excuse, but his mother wasn't convinced. "Sit down, both of you," Mama Samuel ordered. "Now tell me the truth. What have you been doing?" The children exchanged nervous glances. They knew they could no longer hide the truth. With trembling voices, they confessed everything: the videos, their curiosity, and their attempts to imitate what they had seen. Mama Samuel listened in silence, her heart tightening with each word. A wave of guilt washed over her. How had she missed this? Had she been too consumed by work to see what was happening? Taking a deep breath, she said, "Stay here. I need to talk to Mama Rosie." She walked across the courtyard to Rosie's house. A difficult lesson. Rosie's mother listened as Mama Samuel told her everything. Her face turned pale with shock. "This is Rosie's fault," she said abruptly. "She's the one leading Samuel into all this." Mama Samuel shook her head firmly. "It's not just Rosie. They're both involved. And we need to handle this together as mothers." For the first time, Mama Rosie sat down, her usual strict demeanor replaced by deep concern. "What do we do?" she asked softly. "We need to talk to them. And more importantly, get them help, therapy, counseling, whatever it takes. But we have to guide them back to the right path." The two mothers returned to Samuel's house and had a long discussion with the children. They explained the dangers of the content they had watched and why their actions were harmful. Though their words were gentle, the children could feel the weight of their disappointment. From that day on, things changed in the courtyard. Mama Rosie became more attentive to Rosie, softening her strict ways to build a more open and trusting relationship. Meanwhile, Mama Samuel made an effort to spend more time with Samuel, realizing that her leniency had left her son without proper guidance. Eventually, both families decided to seek professional help for the children. Therapy sessions helped Samuel and Rosie understand the consequences of their actions and the importance of making better choices. Despite their efforts to mend the situation, the bond between the two families was never the same. Mama Rosie decided to move to another state, hoping to give Rosie a fresh start away from the memories of what had happened. As the moving truck drove away, Samuel stood in the courtyard, feeling a mix of sadness and relief. He had learned a difficult lesson, one that would stay with him for the rest of his life. Moral of the story: it is crucial for parents to spend time with their children, talk to them about responsible phone use, and teach them about the dangers of certain content. Phones are useful tools, but they should only be given to children mature enough to use them responsibly. Share your thoughts in the comments. At what age do you think a child should have a phone?